we live in a microwave society, but we serve a crockpot God.
Because I believe two unhealed people could work equally yoked, but I think it's a misconception of what equally yoked is, right? Because if you got two ox, a yoke is something that attaches to the ox, right? Yep. They can't be taking the same steps, because if they take the same steps, they go in a circle. Mm-hmm. But if you have the same direction, I feel like we can make it to that point. But if you under that yoke, I can't pull more than you can pull.
Closure is a myth. People just want another conversation. Yes or no? No.
Love is not hard.
Love is
to
rocky.
Me. Love is not hard. The relationship is hard. I don't think love is hard. I don't.
But you can't have the love without the relation. I
know.
And y'all seen that Tyler Perry movie?
Yes.
Straw.
How y'all feel about it? You feel like that's the story for most black women?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mind Over Matter podcast. I did a little bit of introduction of who was here last time, but today I think I want y'all to introduce yourselves. What's going on? How y'all feeling? Of course, y'all already know we got Jess, Troy, Lamar.
Hey, y'all.
Let's just go ahead and
Just rolled off the tongue.
let's just go right. Hey, y'all.
She smoked that Joe. I ain't gonna lie.
Definitely did. Yeah, go ahead, tell the people who y'all are. We are the cast of Mind Over Matter, but you know,
ladies first. So
You was
I
waiting.
am.
they're like, yeah, duh.
I am Jessica P. Hill. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I am affectionately known as the Black Man's Therapist, and yeah, I'm that girl.
Ooh.
You heard.
Ooh.
The big one. The one, not the,
The
two.
biggest,
I
the
love
largest.
Okay. Ooh.
We love that for you. We love that. Real confident.
Big extra plug. We are taking sponsorships. You know what I'm saying? We have the best podcast in the world. Come through.
That's good. All right. What's up, guys? My name is Troy Hughes. I'm a multi-hyphenate creator, entrepreneur, model, actor, youth mentor, one-stop shop, aka the mail.
All of the above. Hey.
My joint ain't gonna be that in depth. I'm gonna hold you.
One time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Man, my
real
dog fly pilot, he fly plane.
It's
Man,
gonna be
he
simple.
trying to leave something out, man.
No, it's gonna be
Yeah.
simple. I'm Lamar Johnson. I'm a serial entrepreneur. That's how I'm gonna leave it.
He own a restaurant. He fly planes. He got mental health.
Yep.
Yeah, he got
fly
nonprofits.
He been in the gym.
He on the
been in
bank
gym, y'all
boards and
see?
everything.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, bro. Hey, look. That's why I'm on 4
And he
boards.
love the
I am
Lord, y'all.
tired.
4 boards is crazy.
Yeah, I had a board meeting yesterday. Got a board meeting tomorrow, and got one Thursday.
Oh, y'all just mayors and governors.
Mayors and governors.
We politicians for real, for real.
Nah, facts. All right, so today, this is a topic brought to us by none other than Mr. Lamar Johnson. He wanted to get into a lot of things about alignment, right time versus right person. And I think that this would be a really good subject for us to unpack. So, what matters more? Meeting the right person or meeting them at the right time? We're going to explore this conversation that we going to get a little bit beneath the surface, tap into the idea of alignment, not just in relationships, but in timing, energy, and intention. Can love thrive if timing is off? Or does the right connection transcend all circumstances? And deeper, how do we even define love in today's world? Like, let's talk about it. This is
Loaded.
This was like 16 questions, 16 bars. So
Yeah.
who want to start? I guess I'll start with a warm-up question. When you hear the word alignment, like, what does it mean to you in the context of love and relationships? Anybody? Well, I'm gonna come to you, Lamar, because I feel like you got something to say.
I'm gonna say I don't believe in right person, wrong time.
Okay.
And why I say that is it was always brought to me as this. In a relationship aspect, I'll say this. Sometimes I feel like God give us a snippet of the person that we want.
Yeah.
And once he gives it to us and allows us to have that person for the moment. But I think it's not for us to actually take on that person, but it's saying this is the end goal. So how can you get to be able to house that person or build a relationship with that person? So for me, I don't feel like it's a right time or a right person. I feel like when it's aligned and it's of God, it doesn't matter if it's what it is, because if it's from Him, it is what it is. It is the right time and the right person.
Yeah.
But I feel like our disobedience with our decisions creates the wrong time with
I
the
mean,
right person.
I think we can fabricate it too. Like we can see somebody and we can imagine that they're everything that we want, and we can be like, "Oh, look, God gave me exactly what I want." But sometimes you desperate and you going off of like just what you want at the time, not necessarily what you need.
Going for the aesthetics for real. It's kind of like
Yeah.
a car. Like you got a good like exterior painting, but your
Yeah.
alignment off. Your
Yeah.
car going to
Yeah.
the sideways,
Ooh,
so
your
it look
ali-
good,
yeah.
but your alignment off in your car.
Yeah.
I think another way to look at it too, because I feel like we have such a God, he knows the human side of us. And so we can get very impatient when it comes to things. And so I do believe, just kind of to the flip side of what Lamar said, I feel like God could show you somebody, or like, so let's say that you have just been anticipating your husband or anticipating your wife, and it's something that's like really heavy on you. I do think that God could show you the person, but also showing you in the same token of like, I'm letting you know because I'm letting you know that I have you, but it's just not ready yet.
Yeah.
So I think that, I believe that it can be right person, wrong timing, but I think that God is such a sovereign God that he cares about our feelings so much that he will show you if you're getting in a space of being so weary. I do think that he shows you like, all right, I'm going to show it to you, but it doesn't mean that it's ready yet.
Yeah.
But the thing about this, like sometimes we mess up our blessing from that because we don't know how to handle it. For
we
Yeah,
don't know
real.
how to
decisions.
handle
It's
it.
the decisions you make
Yeah.
on that journey.
Because like when you're young and you see the person that you think like for to be your end goal, like seeing your wife, you might make decisions. Like I know me, I was young, done running around. I did a lot of good girls wrong.
Yeah.
Now if I look back, I'm like, damn, that girl, she perfect for who I am now.
Yeah.
But then I didn't know how to appreciate that and take the time to really like, all right, I got something here. You know what I'm saying? So you can like mess
And
yourself over.
So you said you don't believe in
No,
right?
because I feel like this, right? If you follow a GPS, it tells you the direction, but it doesn't tell you the texture of where you're going. So just because it
Yeah.
could be bumpy, the navigation only shows the direction. It doesn't show the climate or
what the
damn.
Yeah, he was ready. He was cooking. My boy was cooking.
Drop the
That's the
mic.
devil. They ain't nothing but the devil.
No,
They ain't nothing but
take
the
it out the
devil.
case. Just take it out the
They ain't
case.
nothing but the devil. We would not spread this word today.
It's a fancy.
Our camera's still going though, so yeah.
Yeah. You me take it off?
Yeah.
I got it.
We got to figure that out. We got to put it in.
But to your point, I think I heard a quote the other day and it said, we live in a microwave society, but we serve a crockpot God. And
That's good.
I think that, we want things quick, fast, and in a hurry. We want things right now. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you can't just put the shrimp in the water and eat it after 2 seconds of it boiling. Like, you got to let it rise to the temperature, rise to the occasion. So when it comes to relationships, it sounds like, Troy, you do think that it could be right person, wrong time. Because you've experienced that in your life.
That's what you said.
That's kind of sort
I
of.
can lean towards that too, but I can also be like, that's something that I idolize in my head for real. That might not be the actual reality of it. I might feel like it's the right person, but me being in a situation, I might be like, damn, she's a good person, but it's not for me as well though. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. It sound good, but it's like when you in that moment, you finally got that person. You like, damn, she's cool, but it's not fulfilling my soul right now. You know what I'm saying? It's fulfilling my exterior, like my goals, is like not even my goals, like I guess my ambition part of it for real.
Thank you.
So I don't know. It's kind of hard for me. It just matter on the person for real. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think when we talk about right person, wrong time, I think right person is more further down the line. So not like the person you are now. I feel like right person is for the person you're gonna become.
Yes.
So that's why I said when God give you a snippet of it, it's showing you where you need to be to be able to
I like that. I like that. I like that.
obtain this relationship or to not sabotage the relationship with, because I feel like most of the time, and I feel like this is for women and men. We don't know what we don't know until we actually in it. So you know, it's like you can do all the work through therapy, you can do all the work in church, you can do all the work physically, mentally, whatever. But until you get into dealing with the person, I think you get to figure out if you got them triggers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I say the right, that's why I say I don't believe in right person, wrong time, because I feel like God is developing you to become the person for that right person.
Okay.
So until you become the right person, what happens is I feel like it's our disobedience on our journey that we choose to pursue something that we know we're not ready for.
Like we got to figure it out.
That's
it.
We
Wow,
gotta figure it out.
disobedience on
So
our
that's what it
journey.
is.
Yeah,
though.
so your choices,
Yeah.
I feel like your choices along the journey, if you choose to jump in too fast, that's when you start making the mistakes. You be like, oh,
Right.
then you have that regret to say, that was a good person.
Right.
Yeah.
He
Because-
give us free will.
Yeah, you
He
get
give
the
us
so
free
it's
will.
like this the person you want. This the person that I believe that could be whatever you want, you know, that end goal.
Yeah.
But until you work fully and trust in me, you not gonna be able to obtain that person, and it's gonna always be sabotaged because you're not really there yet. So
You're
that's
not
why I
ready
said
for it.
And
you're
you're
not
saying
ready.
trusting
Yeah.
me as in God.
Trusting God,
Trusting
yeah.
God.
If you don't
Okay.
trust in God,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
because like I said, if it's not anointed by God, it's not gonna work.
It's not
Yeah.
gonna work.
And that's why I say I don't believe in, because the alignment is, if I supposed to be on 13th Street and you supposed to be on 13th Street, we can't merge until God align it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can be on the same place, right time.
Right.
But until so the alignment is bringing it both together.
Yeah.
It's bringing the time and the person together. So it's like you can't be where you supposed to be and be with the person you supposed to be, and it's aligned if God don't want it to be.
Yeah.
Well, my follow up for you would be, it sounds like you done been through this before.
I like the
Is
perspective.
it just,
I like
yeah,
the
I
perspective.
love the
Yeah,
perspective,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like you,
Love
it
it.
sounds like you speaking from experience.
I'm not gonna say I can technically say I'm speaking from experience, but I think that's been my journey through therapy. Is because what I found out is a lot of women that I start to communicate with, they always say, "Hey, I'm not on your level," and I'd be like, "That's then I already
I think that's
that discounts
interesting.
I've heard that. Too, yeah, have
No,
you
I'm-
heard
I'm-
that? Have anybody else heard that? Like
What?
anybody
What,
said
from
men?
another person? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not on your
For
level."
sure.
And
Yeah,
it's,
for
yeah.
sure.
it's intimidating to them, and it's like I don't understand that coming
I think
from my
that's
end.
interesting because you don't see too many women willing to like kind of go in that vulnerable space to say that. Like I feel like, and maybe because I hear it from women saying that a man may have said it, but like I just think it's interesting that you have experiences where the women
several
are like
multiple times.
standing down on it, like yeah, I'm not on your level.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And Troy too said it. The girls be saying
girls
it.
have said this to you too, Troy, or have you said it
No.
to them?
I've said it to them for sure though.
Okay.
The ones I want, yeah, I've said
Who?
it to them. Yeah, definitely.
Which one?
Which
Oh, I'm sorry.
But no, though, cause like even myself, I'd be like, if I want a girl and I want to pursue her, I'd be like, but I know I'm not ready for it. Like I might be doing a little too much right now. I'd be like, nah, I'm just chill. Cause like I look at it like girls are like it's like butterflies for real. So I'm like, I'm just let her do her thing till I get myself right. Then when I get myself right, I'm like, I'm gonna try to pursue then. But I don't want to mess up something that I don't already have, and she have a bad taste in her mouth on me. Cause like he wasted my time now. You know what I'm saying? And I never want to do that for real. So until I get myself right, I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna give it my all. We're trying to pursue this.
I think that's big because there are some men that will know that they are not where they need to be, but because they're so fearful of like, if I don't move now, and I think that kind of goes into your lack of faith too. It's like you'll meet somebody. I feel like I get this a lot. You see me, it's like, oh, this person is right here, right now. Let me make my move, but you know that you're not ready. And then it's like you get into it and it's just like, but you knew this, but you still pursued. And you know, you can blame yourself too, because like you see it and now you're staying in it too. But I think that's amazing because there are some men that will literally still pursue knowing that they're not in a position to give you exactly what you need and deserve.
But I think that's them ignoring the development that they have to work on. And I feel like women do it a lot too.
Yeah,
Because what I
yeah,
see
for sure.
a lot is we have this accountability conversation. And most of the women, because like I told y'all, I have non-negotiables. And it's not for me, it's for them. Because I can't fulfill you.
Yeah.
So my non-negotiable is you have to have some physical activity. You have to have some spirituality. And you have to have a therapy outlet. And that's so you can know your self-worth.
Right.
Because no matter what I do for you, I can never feel any void.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the accountability part, I feel that it's hard to look in the mirror and say to yourself, "You not ready," because then that's saying that I feel like some people are taking to say they not enough,
or something's wrong with you.
Something's wrong with you,
Yeah.
instead of actually saying, "Hey, this is a moment for me to grow and be mature." But a lot of people, and I've done it. So like I said, it's not like I'm chastising anybody, but I'm saying that sometimes you be like, "Oh no, you gonna put on that macho, your ego, and say, oh, I can do this," and then you get in situations where the traumas appear. So now you bring in past experiences to new people, and you just in a repeated cycle. All you doing is replacing the placeholder.
And it's not sustainable. Because
Yeah, it's not gonna
you put on the active first, it's only going to last for so long, for real.
Yeah.
Because you get comfortable, and then it's like, okay, I don't have to do as much as I was doing in the beginning to kind of catch the situation, and now I'm in it, so it's like, okay, let me just let my hair down.
Yeah.
And letting your hair down is like really showing the real you, and the real you is not prepared.
She don't even like that person.
Well, I think the also thing is when people feel like, oh, I've done so much work.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you done so much work, but you still got so much to go. But people will be like, but you're supposed to congratulate the work you done. No.
You're supposed to do the work regardless.
You're supposed to do the work regardless.
Yeah.
Self-improvement. You can't say, oh, yeah, well, I got over that situation. I got over that relationship. I forgave that family member, and now I'm done. No, I feel like a lot of times we work on the traumas that we want to work on, and instead of the ones that's covered up.
Right. And then we say, I'm protecting my peace with that versus saying, no, I'm not ready to acknowledge this, or I can't be around this yet because it's still pain and hurt. And so we say, I'm protecting my peace. And it's like, no,
Facts,
you're not protecting your peace.
You run away from it.
You're running away from it.
Yeah, no, all of that. I like all of that. I think all of that is the reason why I am still single at this moment. Like, I'm just, I'm just now learning how to get rid of my ego. Like, literally, as of like probably 72 hours ago. So,
Fresh.
What was that turning point then?
the turning point, I think I have like, I get like real like judgmental of myself. Like, I feel like sometimes when I talk to people, maybe I don't talk as quick as I should, or like I don't know, it's an insecurity. I have a lot of insecurity of like communication or how I show up and how people see me. So I was just praying to God, like, God, please take this insecurity away from me, because when you have a business, like, that's stifling. You know, you don't really want to go to networking events, or like you overthinking everything, or you projecting how you feel on yourself on other people. Now you feel some type of way because you feel like they, demeaning to you, but actually you just reflecting your thoughts on them. So it's like a loop that I was going through. And I prayed to God about it, and God literally was like, it's your ego. Like, let go of that ego. And everything, and opportunities have come just in the last, 72 hours since I let it go. So
You being obedient.
and being obedient, but in relationships too, is like, I've done that in relationships not knowing that I probably was like very toxic in that. And I can acknowledge that, like, making people feel like, less than, because I felt like I was in that moment in certain, like, as far as like communicating, like, oh, you're not communicating with me right, or you're not acknowledging my feelings right. Like, it is like, but no, that's because I didn't really know how to ask that. I didn't know how to tell you how to do that. So that's why I say, like, you just got to be prepared for this relationship. This conversation just hit me because I'm like, hey, like, y'all hitting it. Y'all hitting all the pain points.
So you saying that, question for everybody in the room, what do you feel like that you learned about your ego, or how to handle your ego, like, from childhood?
Oof.
Like, what did you
Everything
see around you, or like when you think of like ego, like what was the definition of that, or how did you handle that? Was your ego like screaming? Like, were you a person like that, or?
So I feel like my ego kicked in when I was in high school, and I went through like embarrassment. So like I lost a fight. My girlfriend broke up with me on Valentine's Day. Stuff like that, and it made it seem like I felt super vulnerable. So it's like I had to put on an image of being like super cool and player. So it turned me like to like a dog for real. So I feel like I didn't have those feelings no more. So I went from like so that happened when I was like in 9th grade and 10th grade. When I went through those things, by 12th grade, I'm looked in a whole different light now. Like let's play a Troy. You know what I'm saying? That's Troy. He get the girls. That's hot boy Troy. Like it's like little stuff like that. And it's like
Troy Hefner.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, that was a couple people was calling me that then though too though. But that was all from like my ego being bruised and my younger before everybody really even knew me for real. Right. So then like it carried on to shit. I was just losing that probably about a year or two ago for real. Cause like I never wanted to feel vulnerable like that again. So like I had to create an ego and an image to combat all that, where people wouldn't even see that from me. Where somebody healed, they could probably see that from afar. But but me, you know what I'm saying? But people that's close to me or people that's like me or in the culture like me, they like think that that's the cool thing to do for real. You know?
I think it was traumatic for me. Like my mama would cut people off without notice. Family, friends, mama, daddy. So I don't necessarily think I related that to the word ego. I related it more so to like a mental instability.
Okay.
But now looking back at it, it is affecting my ego. So I think it was just like seeing how relationships didn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. Okay. And that can kind of shape you to be very independent. It can shape you to be very selfish. It can shape you to be very judgmental. It can shape you to be a hermit. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't leave the house. So all of that kind of stifles your I feel like I'm just now growing up for real. Cause like I'm just now getting these experiences. Like I'm hearing y'all talk and all of y'all are younger than me, but I'm like, dang, y'all like so much wiser than me. Cause y'all actually been out in the world. Like I've been in the house. So like ego, what? Like, what was that? What's that? Oh, that's what that was. So I feel like it definitely impacted me in a big way just from seeing like family members in my mama. It was just me and her, so that's all I saw. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? Right?
I think ego for me was like survival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like background of my family and stuff like that, and then it's like my whole family like straight street. All the dudes is like street. So it's like me being like the younger brother and the youngest. You gotta put on a poise to kind of combat the things that like now I've realized like I'm glad that I didn't turn out like they did. But in the same sense, I've survived some of the things that came with it. And that's kind of shaped me. So it's like the ego part comes from survival, comes from hurt. But like I said, I think it's more of a survival technique that, if you put on this persona, nothing can hurt you from the perspective of outside. Like eternally, you'll be like, yeah, that fucked me up. Yeah. Or that girl fucked me over. Okay, my homeboy did something I thought you would never do. So when you put on that, like, they be like, you carry that well. That's, to me, that's somebody putting the ego on you. So now you gotta live up to it. So I think that's, like I said, it's a survival technique. It's like, they be like, you manage business so well. But, I mean, they don't see the struggles that I had to encounter to overcome to become who I am today. So it's like, you can't show no weakness. So the ego, that's the ego. It's like, they see you, the Superman. So you gotta, you can't be Clark Kent. You can be Clark Kent to yourself, but to the outward perspective, you gotta wear that cape,
and not really have an ability to take it off.
Exactly, because once you in it, you in it. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. When do you take it off? I know, like you guys work out. I feel like the time that it do get taking off sometimes when I'm on that treadmill, it be for real, like because it hits something inside of me that needs. I feel like I'm pushing up a wall, like for some, like emotionally. I don't know if anybody's ever felt this way, but I feel like it's something in me that's ready to come out, and that energy that I'm exerting on, like physically, it's not really like replicating in the inside. I don't know if anybody. It feel like I need to burst through something
in the gym.
In the gym, yeah. And that happened to me one time where I actually I felt like I burst through that wall, and I wanted to like scream. Like it was like it's something inside of me that need to come out, and I don't really know how to release it.
Yeah,
didn't really know how to release it at that time. So, yeah, I don't know if that related to what we was just talking about. But.
No, I think it does.
What the fuck did y'all give her a drink, bro?
It's real wine, bro.
What did y'all give her a drink?
All
Her
right.
cheeks sweating. and
Next
everything,
question. Next question.
Love. We wanted to talk about defining love. How do you guys define love? Yes.
Me personally, I have probably an unbelievable perspective on it, but I feel like love is a feeling, a decision, and a practice.
Yeah.
I think love is based on the feeling you decide to practice. So, in the sense of saying like this, because like I said, I replicate everything to God, unconditional. Regardless of what you're receiving, that's how I define love. So it's like it's unconditional.
Yeah.
And to put in the aspect of how we might forget about God, how we might not worship him as we supposed to, but he still love us. So that's kind of like how I perceive it. Is regardless of the family members that have passed and they've been dead 10, 20 years, I still feel the same way I felt about them as if they were living today.
Right.
Because it's so they can't give me anything anymore, but I still feel the same way. So I feel like my love is I'm not gonna say of God, but I'm trying to be in the godly sense.
In the way of which that he loves.
Yeah.
Striving to have that.
Yep. So it's like, I decided to have a spiritual connection with God. I decided to worship him. I decided to entrust him. So that's me, that the feeling, that's the decision, and I'm practicing it. And that's how I translate it into my everyday life.
That's real.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you messed me. I gotta start saying before you.
Right.
As soon as you said unconditional, I said, "Damn." I was like, I was gonna make up a word, unconditionality. That's how I describe it as though, like this unconditional love, like no matter what, because a lot of people they say the love word, but like they put conditions on it,
Yeah.
based on how things are going right now, and then you see their true colors. So it's like it's unconditional for real. Yeah, good, bad, or indifferent. That's how I look at it as.
And I think love, like you said, unconditional, but like limitless. And just when we say that, just not having a limit to it, like regardless of what this person does, if we say that we love them, it's like how do you show up? How do you accept it? Like it's something that I just feel like I can't put it into words all the time when someone says like define what love is. So Lamar did amazing.
Yeah.
He did amazing with it, because I think it's one of those things of like when you feel it, when like I remember we had like within the first episode we were talking about like what's your happiest place, like what is something, and I couldn't describe it, but it was just like a feeling of just being in community and just having this internal feeling. And I think that's my definition of love. It's like it's an internal feeling that is so grand that I can't really put it into a word. But Lamar did.
Yeah, he did it perfectly.
Yeah.
That's the definition.
That's the definition.
Crazy.
You need Holly Webster, man.
Pretty much. And I think it stems from kind of how you grew up as well, what you've been through. Because when I think of love, I think of sacrifice. Like it comes from a place of me having to give up something in order to make somebody else happy, but not out of a place of like malice or hate, but because I want them to be happy, but I might have to sacrifice something for myself.
But I also think that kind of going back to, I feel like the foundation of what we talk about is God here. Like when you think about how he loves us, he sacrificed himself for our sins. And so when we think about, like when you said that, I didn't even take it in like a, dang, I'm giving up some, or I have to like give less of me for this. But it's just like when we talk about love in the godly sense, it's like he sacrificed himself to show us just how much that he loved us. Which is also going back to the unconditional piece too, of regardless what we do, because we know he did that, and yet we still just act up. But he still looks at us the same and loves us the same. So,
And I got a quote for what you said, and I forgot who told me this, but they said, "Forget what you give, but remember what you receive." So you should give with no conditions, but you should cherish every gift that you receive.
I like that.
That's real.
That is real. Yeah. can you love somebody and still walk away from them?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. You gotta love yourself too.
I mean, not even in a romantic thing. I
Right.
mean, I'm pretty sure everybody got friends, family members that they love, but they not conducive for their development or their journey. Because like with me, with having like survivor's remorse, I got friends that can't be here.
Yeah.
That I wish would be here on the journey. So I know if you living, and I can endure the pain of knowing that wherever they stopped at, that's the end. I know that I can walk away from somebody that's alive to get to where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
But it is, I think it is an emotional challenge to say, you know, like what they say, everybody can't go with you. I mean, I think I finally got to a place where I'm like, don't even care. Because my journey and my alignment is, you just might not be in the equation. I love you. I wish the best for you, but some people just not meant to be in our lives in its entirety. They're seasonal people.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I mean, no matter, and like I said, I love unconditionally. So if I feel like if I say I love you, regardless of if we don't speak or not, you know, my love might not change. It's just my presence is going to be different.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, as much as we strive and want to love like God, we have to acknowledge the humanness in us. Yeah. And so I think that it's a big thing to be able to tell somebody or let someone know, I love you enough to release you, because if I allow you to keep on this journey with me, I might end up hating you. Yeah. And I don't want us to get to that point. So now that I see where this is heading, and I see that this is not beneficial for either one of us, or it might be beneficial for you being with me, but I see that for me, it's draining me. It is not something that's helping me get to my next level, and I'm not being a better version of myself because of it. I think that being able to have that emotional boundary of like, I want to continue to love you the way that I do. And if I continue to let this keep happening, or if I continue to let you be here, I know that the human side of me can only take but so much. And I know that I'm not God. So it's like I said, as much as we want to be like him, we have to acknowledge that humanness in it.
Yeah. And I feel like another part is recognizing the love not always mutual. Like I know some people that I know I love them, but they didn't love me. So that's why I say I know I gotta love myself to get away from you, because I know it's not the same for real. Because you shown it, like you said, when you love somebody, you don't mind sacrifices from them. They ain't gonna sacrifice for you. Yeah. So I'm gonna save myself and just remove myself from it. I still love you even though you don't love me, and that kind of be like sometimes you feel your ego get involved with like, damn, I waste all this time, waste all this energy.
Feel taken advantage of.
Feel taken advantage of, but like I can't change who I am because of who you are. You know.
Yeah. And is it a time that y'all realized what love like really meant? Like, is it a specific time where you were like, all right, that's love? Like nobody had to tell you, it was like a feeling that you felt.
I think I learned that early on with my parents. Again, it's hard to describe, but it's just like the way that my parents show up for me. Right, wrong, indifferent, they are on the front row of my life, regardless at this big grown age. And so I just grown up just seeing acts of love. Like my mom, of course, when I'm younger, I'm not understanding it, but like she's always was the one taking us to the doctor. Like she's picking me up from school. She's doing different things. And as I'm getting older, I'm like you said, the sacrifice is like she never had no PTO. She just got PTO back because it's like all her life is just you were doing things. And so I just think that watching the acts of love, even not knowing like as a kid, like, okay, this is what it means to love. So I think that the action and just the fuzzy feeling that I got even as a kid, like I said, recitals, just different things that I had going on, sports events, my parents are right there, not missing a beat. And so I think that early on, just seeing the acting, I think that it can be a blessing and a curse too, because like now how I show up, I realize like I don't know how to, like, you're gonna get Jessica, like everybody's gonna get Jessica, and it's like Jessica doesn't know how to sometimes to pull back and look and say like, okay, this person ain't showing up for me the way that I show, because my natural being of showing up, like, is just to just overly give, because it's what I saw and it's what I received. And so I definitely think it's a blessing and a curse. But I will say that from my parents, just from an early age, just the action of it. It's not just saying that you love me, but I'm seeing the action too.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Mine's gonna be dark. I ain't even
No,
trying-
mine dog too.
I ain't even trying to make my people be mad though, for real. Like, but I don't. It's hard because, like, a lot of, like, my family, like, they lived out of ego for real. So it's love, but it's not really unconditional love with them. Like, I know they love me, they care about me and stuff like that, but a lot of times they all let their ego step in the way. And I realized I even did that as an adult as myself. So it's kind of hard where I can pinpoint one time I'm like, I know somebody love me unconditional. Because there's like a lot of ego was always involved with it. You know, so I don't really even have a time for it to really say that for real. You know, but I know they love me, but it's kind of hard to explain for real. You know?
I think I figured out what love is by losing people. Because I think I learned love through pain. And I think you learn it because you can never get it from them again. And I think that's the most hurtful thing. So it's like, I can say probably,
Like, kind of like you miss what you don't have.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, you gotta cherish every moment. So I think, and I got consecutive people that I can say that I've lost, but most recently losing my godbrother, I think that kind of like took a part of me that I will never get back. So my language has changed. I think my whole dynamic has changed, honestly. Because it's like when you get into that mode, losing somebody and losing the people how you lose them, it gets so dark for you that it's the only thing that you can do to get out of that is find some source of love. So that's like your journey to God, seeking something that's unconditional. So I think that's kind of like, as an adult, where I think I found out what love really means.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real.
You changed my whole perspective for real. Yeah. And then realize like you lost somebody who loved you unconditionally.
Yeah.
Like that shit, that hurts. Like that hurts because you don't get people like that for real.
All the time.
You don't.
Dime a dozen.
Damn.
Yeah. And this is an emotional question for me, so I'm not gonna answer. But I'm gonna just say it come when when some people need you but have never been there for you, but you want to help them regardless.
Yeah.
And you know that's a dilemma that within yourself, because it's like, dang, am I being taken advantage of right now? But this who it is to me, so it's like.
But I feel like what's triggering that, and I learned this kind of probably like this year for sure. I learned this about myself too, though. That's what I would call emotional dependence. Because any situation where the other person has the ability to display the same things that you have, you have the anxiety to continue to push something that is never gonna be. So like, and I had to learn that about myself, is especially in relationships, but seeking validation from other people instead of just saying like, this ain't healthy for me.
Yeah.
And walking away. And I feel like when we put a stigma or give that stamp to that person, is that the right person? We continuously give ourselves to prove ourselves in a sense of that's going to change it. But that person is not meant to see you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest part, because now you feel that you're not as good enough. And it hurts your ego, it hurts your pride, it hurts your confidence. And then you diminish your self-worth because you continuously give yourself to a person with no regard, with no boundaries.
Yeah. and that can go deep, and it can go in so many different directions, and it can get crazy. But let's turn off the pressure cooker for a second.
You asked the question.
I want to
Yes,
say
please.
before we move past that,
Absolutely.
thank you for that, because
I think that helped. That gonna help a lot of people.
like that is. I know we doing this, but like that was healing and restoration for me to even just hear that in real time.
Feeling emotion.
Wait, cut this motherfucker off right now.
Because
Well,
it's
thank
real.
y'all for tuning.
Thank you, Lamar. It's the end of,
Fire.
it's the
Thank
end
you,
of-
Lamar. Somebody under the post said, "Look at Pastor Lamar," and I was like, "Yes, yes."
This on recording? It's live?
No, you was on the last.
I'm sorry, on the
oh,
last one of the Instagram posts we put up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was beautiful. All right, y'all ready for a fire round?
Yeah,
Yes or no?
lighten the mood.
All right. Yes or no? Yes or no? I actually want us all to answer at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You can be in love and still cheat. Yes. Wait. Why ain't nobody say nothing? I thought I was answering.
No, because yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes.
I said yes after Lamar. though.
Why you didn't say yes after me, Troy? He said, "Nah, you
Yeah,
are."
he got to be the headliner for this one.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I think
You got
yes.
the
I'ma
team
say
on his
no.
back.
I'm supporting my brother.
I'm gonna say no.
You gonna say no?
Well, can you explain why
Yeah,
not?
expound.
I'm gonna say no. I feel like this is a black and white. Okay, now I don't want to say it. Now I'm
No,
thinking.
it's a safe space.
Um,
It's just us.
I'm gonna say no because we've talked about like how we define love, and so I think that when you are in love and you acknowledge like what this level of love is, what you're getting from this space, how valuable it is, and what could be the consequences if I were to do something to lose this. I think I'm gonna just say I feel like when you're in love, it weighs, like when the idea of losing this person may weigh so much over the idea of actually doing something to possibly lose it. So I think that when you're in love, I would say no. That's just the black or white. Like I could do the reasons why, but I'm gonna just stick with the straight answer no.
I'm gonna say yes because coming from an unhealed space, I feel like which majority of us are. Again, we're gonna use the word ego gets in the way and self-sabotaging because at some point you're not getting what you want, and in not being healed, you don't know how to respond.
Right.
So you can love that person, and I feel like you love them, but you're selfish enough to cheat and get whatever you missing.
That 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah, just want
Yeah, because that's real.
what it
I
is.
feel like if you know yourself enough, if not even you know yourself, you in a place where you're healed enough, you would rather just walk away. But most of us possess people to the point that we'll cheat and try to still keep the person.
Yeah. I can agree.
All right. Wait a minute. Closure is a myth. People just want another conversation. Yes or no?
No.
shit, I'm fucking
You say it's a myth?
I got
You
you
say
not
it's a
too
myth?
long ago, man.
No,
I'm gonna say
You don't think closure is a myth?
no.
I don't think it's a myth, but I think it is. It could be you want a conversation, but I don't feel like it's a conversation. I think sometimes people want closure because they don't have unanswered questions, and they can't let go of the questions not unanswered. But I feel like you already know the answer, but you just want clarity, confirmation. Because like you assume something, but then it's like, no, I don't want to assume. I want to know if that's really what it is, instead of and that could be lack of confidence or whatever, not having self-worth. But I don't feel like it's a myth though.
I think the myth in closure is being conditioned to thinking that it comes in one form. Like I think that when we think of closure, a lot of our minds probably went to that last conversation. But you can have closure with something. Someone's actions can be closure, like not having a conversation, things like that. So I think that the myth of it is just the idea of like we sit down, have that final conversation. So if I wanted to put it in a myth form, I would just say the form of closure, in the idea of it's one way typically.
So it don't necessarily have to be a conversation. It could be.
No, actions speak louder than words.
And I think that when you're wanting closure, it takes a level of being healed to recognize, like, do I really need this conversation? Do I really need this particular conversation to get closure? Or has the work that I've done and the healing that I've done, is that the closure that I need? Like, because when we ask ourselves, like, okay, let's say if I were to get this conversation, what is that going to do for me? And maybe I'm speaking for myself, because in a previous relationship, I wanted so much for this person to say this thing that you did. Like, I always thought that I wanted to have this particular conversation. I needed to hear you say this. But as I worked through it myself, I'm like, and then when the opportunity presented itself for this person to be able to do that and you still didn't do it, the closure in that for me was just acknowledging you are just who you are, and knowing, Jessica, you've healed through this situation. So whether this person says yay or nay to whatever, you're fine. You're okay. You don't need to hear it, because what is hearing it from this person going to do for you at this healing stage of your life? So I think that moment taught me that, because I'm a conversation girly. I want to talk. We are going to talk it out. So yeah, I think that taught me that closure doesn't have to come into the typical space that we think.
I agree.
That's real. That's real. I don't think. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's needed. I don't think it.
It's all situational.
It's all situational.
It's situational.
For me personally, I don't. Yeah, it depends on the person.
One could be healed, one could be toxic. That's when it become a myth. Because that toxic one is trying to find some way to leech on. Get the last one. You've been healing so strong. You've been holding out. You're like, all right, because you think you going in with the same intentions for this last conversation, but she just trying to pull out the whammy and get you back in.
It is no going. It's from the toxic situation. It's not going to be any accountability. So it's like if you want to hear that last, oh yeah, I did do you wrong. If it's gonna happen, it's not gonna be intentional. It's not gonna come with it's not gonna come with any compassion.
But I think if it's a situation like you was talking about, I'm gonna want that or my lick back. Like I'm gonna need him to apologize to me.
Hey, I'm a petty motherfucker.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's
I want that. Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie. Before now, I want that lick back.
I need my lick back.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't got time for lick backs no more.
Not no more, but I'm saying in the past, I want my lick back. That Aries talk to me, I start talking back.
I'm gonna up the scope. I swear.
I'm going
every time.
Look, you 10, I'm going 100.
Even if she get
guaranteed. I might hit your best friend. Like I'm trying to do. I ain't gonna. I'm just being real.
I'm
like
talking about your sister.
Yeah.
I see. Wow. Okay.
Hey, I'm just saying. Like
now, I mean,
before I'm on demon time. I ain't gonna lie.
That hit that ego too. That hit that.
Oh yeah, I think that's situational too, because there's some things that you can't get a lick back for.
But I mean, I feel like you can in your mind, in your mind you can think that you
do
get
something.
it. Yeah, it's like I mean, if I go get a badder junk, that's my lick back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I go get somebody that people look up to, that could be your life back.
Your life is your get back.
Yeah, I could boss up on you. Like,
I like that.
I get that because my life,
my
life is the lick
I'd be like,
back.
you gotta see me everywhere now.
Yes.
Like, you can't get me off your town line right here. Like,
your lick back is being visible could be your lick back.
Being visible, yeah.
I like that.
That's
I like
great.
different perspective.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it from one way. I'm like,
oh yeah, no, you can boss up. You can boss up and get that lick
It
back.
wouldn't have been a thing of like, let me.
You ain't never had a dude that bossed up on you?
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, you that.
Nah.
You gangster.
I fuck with that.
You gangster.
No.
I done had a girl boss up on me. I'm like, God damn, she done went to the moon. She in Miami. She ain't doing this. I'm like, ooh.
Never seen it. Never seen it.
Never seen it. I can't relate.
And I'm not cocky. I'm not, because
Spanish.
it could happen, but like, nah. It was definitely, no.
It could. I mean, nothing is impossible. But I mean,
I look at him sometimes like, you are so
like, why did I date?
back.
Yeah, like you so
You was
corny.
in love though.
In love. But what's crazy when you in love and then you get out of it and it's like everybody around me was like, Jessica. And I'm like, oh, y'all felt that way about him. And I'm like, dang.
Y'all knew.
I'm like, they like, yo, you was happy. And
You
I'm
was
like,
happy,
you were
yeah.
y'all doing the things. And I'm like, dang. But now that I'm out of it, it's like, you're a clown. Like, I'd
Yeah.
be like, yo, I really
So do you
was-
think that's like you forced the situation?
at the time?
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes if that person ain't growing with you,
No,
that
so
don't
this
just
was
be
the
ugly.
no. So the thing for me, it was like the first time, my first true like adult relationship, and the way that you present it, like everything that I'm about, you're about. But whole time it was really like, no, you see a woman that can get you there, and it's like, oh, I'm doing everything like we this boss couple together,
Okay.
and it's like. Not really.
Not
Like
really.
you're doing all of the things like that you see that I'm doing or have done and all of that. And so, but for me, it's like I'm thinking, wow, I finally met my match. I finally found someone on my level. So I'm looking at it like that. But the people around me that love me is like, girl, no, like this is not that. But I'm in love, so I don't see it from that perspective.
Yeah.
So do
So I
you
don't
call
think
it
it
love
was
now?
fucking-
Would you still call it love?
I will never take away that I do feel like that was love. Like I do
Okay.
feel like I was in love. I just think that I was blinded by a lot because of the fact of like how you present it, and we talk about checking off all those boxes and all of the things. I think it was a lot of stuff that I missed of like, no, that was a lot of ego. Like that was a lot of, that involved. So, but I would never take away that it was real love that I feel like that I experienced
Okay.
Especially at the time too.
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, how y'all feel about like? I mean, we're still doing yes or no. I'll just say the yes or no. Healing is not a requirement for love. Some people figure it out inside the relationship. Yes or no?
No.
No.
No. No.
No.
No.
Hold on. So hold on. So you said healing is a requirement.
It's not.
Oh yeah, no.
It's not.
I feel like healing is a requirement for love.
Gotta be.
But do you think people can figure their things out inside of a relationship, even if they're not healed? Could they become healed?
I think that's a
Inside of a
two-part
relationship.
question.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to put that
Oh, we can break it up then.
as one.
We can break it
yes.
up into two
So
questions.
the first healing is not a requirement. That's the first.
That'll be the
part?
first question. Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just flat no. And then
Can people figure their hurt out inside of the relationship?
Yes.
yes.
Can people heal inside of the
Yes.
relationship?
Yes. I believe so.
If they willing to do the work.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know for real. I don't know. Cause like if both of them got so much trauma, it's kind of hard to both get it out you at the same time and be equally. Cause you might try to put yourself down just to make sure you getting it out. You're not really getting it all out for yourself for real.
Yeah.
So like I'm helping heal you, but I'm not truly. I'm saying I'm healing a little bit, but I'm not really going deep into because I'm feeling so much love for you to try to get yours out for real. And then it started to come an imbalance as time go on for real, for real.
I think when I heard that, I heard it from a space of like a whole scenario went through my head.
Yeah.
Like, a man who's ready. I'm just using like a man who's ready. And this woman, she has been in a terrible relationship for some time. She's given up on love and she meets him and he is the healed. Like he's ready. Like he's done the work, all of the things, not to unheal people because now we trauma bonding.
Yeah.
But I think my mind went to thinking of like the person that like really brings you out of that dark space and helps you heal versus two unhealed people trying to do it together.
Oh yeah, that was saying two unhealed
Yeah,
people.
so I was looking at like a person who is continuously healing because I don't think that we're ever like, boom, healed there. It's always ever changing. But I think the person who has in a better mental space, a better emotional space with the one versus the one who, it's just kind of in that darkness.
Yeah, even with that though, like it gotta be hard boundaries and accountability set.
Yeah.
Cause sometimes we'll try to help to heal somebody, and they'll get accustomed to that one thing, and then they'll take advantage of that. And it's like, no, I was just doing that to try to get us out of the situation, but you're not gonna abuse me through. You know what I'm saying? It kind of sets the standard of it for real, for real. So that kind of be like a hard little. You know what I'm saying? So now the healed person is feeling drained now because like I'm telling you taking my kindness for weakness, my love for weakness, you taking advantage of it. So it's kind of be hard too for real.
It's an interesting question.
I got a different
Interesting
perspective though,
What you thinking, brother?
because I believe two unhealed people could work. If
Or they could be Bobby and Whitney.
no, you crazy. But I'm gonna say it like this, because I think we gotta, and I'm gonna use something equally yoked, but I think it's a misconception of what equally yoked is, right? Because if you got two ox, a yoke is something that attaches to the ox, right? They can't be taking the same steps, because if they take the same steps, they go in a circle. But if you have the same direction, I feel like we can make it to that point. But if you under that yoke, I can't pull more than you can pull. You gotta. It's a tug. So you can't drag when somebody's equally yoked. You can't drag the other ox. So I don't. So it depends. But I feel like if you in alignment to where y'all want to go, I feel like when you want something and y'all working towards something, and that's what like y'all truly really want, I don't think it's nothing that can get in your way to stop that. Because I know for me, like just in another perspective, my goal is to be a multimillionaire. It's nothing that's gonna stop me from making my money. I don't care what it is. If I gotta cut my mama off, that's what I believe my divine truth is. So it's nothing I know that's gonna get in my way. So if I know that this is what I want and this is really what you want, I don't feel like it's nothing that can get in your way to even your own personal fears shouldn't be able to stop you. Because that's how I motivate. Like I said, your why make you cry. This is my why. Why are we stopping? So now are you aligned enough to be equally yoked to even break y'all unhealedness? Because if that's just like this, if we know we both unhealed, we both going to therapy. We go to therapy individually, then we're gonna go to therapy together. How can we not get to that end goal, the finish line?
I think somebody had to have the same, like you said, equally.
Yeah, got to be the same. No, I said it has to be aligned.
Yeah, same intensity as you though. Cause
yeah, but if you then it ain't the right person.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's how I was trying to get it out, but I was like,
you're not the right person then. And then I can tell you're not the right person because it's gonna show. It's gonna show in your demeanor. Because of course I don't like just in relationship talk. I don't think I'm gonna meet, and I might, but I don't. Some people. I go hard. Troy go hard. He might not meet the person that is on his level. But that don't discount us to not deal with somebody just because we don't have the ego to say, oh, since you ain't on my level, I'm not gonna mess with you. But if you have the potential, if you have the aspiration, the mindset, we gonna definitely give you a shot.
Yeah.
And if you trying to get to our level, we already know how to get to our level.
Yeah.
So now if we helping you bring you up to our level, the goal is for you to propel both of us.
Yeah, right.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like one outweighs the other, because you might be healed in places that I'm not healed in.
Yeah.
You might have a love language that I'm not familiar with to make me develop into a better man. Because I'm like we as men have different love languages.
I got you. And you said something. You said you would cut your mama off.
No, that's how serious I be.
That's how serious you be. Like
for my legacy.
If your mama was in your way,
for my legacy for my legacy to survive, if I have to cut my mama off, I would. Because my life to me is my legacy is my stone. If I don't leave the next generation and the generation after that something to propel themselves, my legacy is I failed. If they got to start where I started at, what am I doing? If I can't give them the stepping stone, we always talk about generational wealth. We always talk about how other cultures, they walk into wealth. Yeah. Well, why aren't you setting up the same? The best wealth is a life insurance policy that you can give. Like that's the start. If black people, no matter, gun violence, if I guarantee this, and it's not a myth or anything, this is even from the most top executive of insurance agents. If all black people throughout, that get killed doing violent crimes had insurance policies, violent crimes wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
It wouldn't happen because we will be so wealthy.
Yeah,
we'll
rich.
be rich.
Yeah.
You got 5 kids, 5 of them die from gun violence. They in a gang or something like that, and you getting $100,000 policies. You know,
That's
so that's what I'm saying. That's how meaningful it is to me that my son will never go through none of the things that I went through. My mama has lived her life. She's so I can't care as much about you as the person that got more life than all of us.
than all of us. Yeah.
So that's how serious I am. I will cut you off to make sure my son gets to live a life that's privileged, if that's the case. I'm going to give him the privilege. He already got 3 policies. So he's going to guarantee $1 million regardless of what. If I don't do nothing after today, he's going to get $1 million. That's how serious I am.
And I think it's beyond, because even when you originally said it, I didn't take it of like, if she's stepping in the way of being a millionaire, then boom. But I'm thinking like, just in what you are called to do and walking into your alignment.
Facts.
I don't care who you are in my life. If you are stepping in the way of that, you got to go. Like, I didn't even look at it from like a
we can go to
standpoint.
relationships too.
Yeah, just anything.
Because once I get married, my wife supersedes that situation. You're second. This is my family. You had your family. I have a new family. That's in the Bible.
Cause once you find your purpose, it's like shit. Everything make you out the way.
Yeah, you gotta get out of my way.
Everything make you out the way.
That's why I said now I don't even be caring about cutting people off or leaving a person, because it's like this more important. This is way more important.
This works.
Yeah,
This works. Like,
yeah.
This works.
Yeah. What's one myth about love that you believed, but later realized it was not true? I thought it was gonna be fun. I thought love was gonna be like fun in a relationship. Love is hard.
Love is not hard.
Love is
to
rocky.
me. Love is not hard. The relationship is hard. I don't think love is hard.
But you can't have the love without the relation. I mean,
I know.
I think I'm gonna say for me. Before I believe love was enough. I think now I believe love is not enough, because it's so many other elements that comes with being in love to make it like prosper. Like, you gotta be consistent. You gotta have communication. You gotta have shared values.
it's hard.
No, that's real.
I think because to have a healthy relationship, it gotta be more than just a feeling. And sometimes we just take love as how it makes us feel.
Yes.
But it actually has work to be done with it.
Yeah. And I feel like the biggest myth to me was like with like actions. Like, actions can fool you thinking somebody love you for real. It's like when like Boosie had a verse like, just because he gonna ride don't mean he loyal, dog. You know what I'm saying? So like me coming up, I'm thinking my friends ride with me, like we got a problem, they gonna handle some stuff with me, they love me. You know what I'm saying? The same friend stole from me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, like he tricked me with actions thinking that he loved me. You know what I'm saying? The whole time he backdoored me for real. So like actions that's like the biggest myth for real. Cause like you don't really know how to judge actions of love. Cause like, say I get a lot of money and money don't mean nothing to me, and I give you 10,000, you might think, damn, he really love me.
Yeah.
I just don't give a fuck about money.
The value different.
The
That's what I
value
said.
different.
Shared values.
Yeah, the value different though. But if it's something that I really care about and you ask me for it, I'd be like, nah, that mean, you know what I'm saying? That means love different for real. It's unconditional to it. So yeah, that's like for me the biggest myth for me.
Yeah, I feel like love can spark the connection, but I don't think it's sustainable for the foundation.
I think the connection got to be sparked first before love. You think love come before the connection?
No, I think love keeps the connection going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But love is not what feeds the connection. And I think that's the difference. Because I'm going to say it like this. Basically, to love a person, you got to love the parts that you don't love. the parts that you don't like. And what if for some period of time, postpartum or whatever, they displaying the attributes that you don't like? How would you react to it? It's your foundation is already it's gonna be unstable because you only love the parts that you like about the person technically. So that's why I'm like, what is the source of your love? Is can I love you when you're not communicating with me? Can I love you when our values are not the same?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Your foundation has to be based on something. Like you just can't be like, oh, I love this house, but then you don't have no foundation. So when the wind blows, you crumble. But if we got the same values, if we, you communicate with me well, if, we consistent, regardless of how we feel, because feelings I feel like are momentary. Like it's not gonna always last. That's just like looks don't always last. If we talk about marriage, when that person gets to when y'all get up in age and she's not as pretty as she used to be, you not as fit as you used to be, you're not going to the gym like you used to. What is, what's the connection based off of? Because now I feel like it's a fine line between love and lust.
Yeah.
So what's the myth?
That I feel like love is not enough.
Love is not enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a myth that I had, if I had to put one, would be love is contingent upon like length of time, like length of time that you've known someone. And I realize now, like I got people that have come in my life this year that ride for me harder than people that I've known for years. So I would say growing up, like, because I used to have friends that, didn't go to college, so to say. And when I got to college and I had certain relationships and, maybe people from my hometown, like, just would kind of push that on me of like, I've known you longer than this person and da-da-da-da. It's kind of like, yeah, but I just think that it was just kind of like a myth of thinking that love was contingent upon how long I've known a person versus how they showing up for you.
Sometimes just stuck with people.
Men confuse being needed with being loved. Yes or no?
I think if we not needed from the opposite, how can we be loved?
Explain.
So I feel like the way we were created, that y'all are an element of us, right? So how you don't need us and how we don't need you to be fulfilled.
Yes, but I think that maybe I shouldn't be. Okay, so I recognize, like, I need you. Like,
Yeah.
there are some women who, may not feel that it's a need, but it's a desire. It's a want. So let's say that a woman doesn't feel that she particularly needs you, but she does not position it in a way of like, I don't need you, but she's still giving everything in the sense of like, you may feel the feeling and the want of a need, but she's not specifically saying I need you, but you're still getting that fulfillment. So would you say that being needed is directly aligned to how you feel that you're loved?
In a sense, I can say yes. And I feel like that's on a spiritual level.
Okay.
Maybe on a physical level, no. But on a spiritual level, I feel like for a man, I feel like we don't get to our full potential until we have a woman.
Okay.
So that's why I say that.
Lamar has spoken.
I'm just saying that's just me.
That's true, though.
I feel like because
true,
it's like every great man has a great woman. So until I feel like it's always gonna be something missing, especially for a man.
Yeah.
If we don't have that woman in our life, we can have women.
Yeah.
But if it ain't the woman that we need or the woman that is for us, we could feel empty.
The difference between Diddy and Jay-Z.
Wow.
That's it. That's it. That's the difference. That's the difference.
What is the difference?
Was Jay-Z?
Jay-Z got
Hey, look, we ain't even talking about that.
Alright.
Diddy out here being Playboy, wilding.
Yeah.
Now look
But
at him.
Jay-Z apparently out here being Playboy too, though.
Yeah.
That's where that Beyonce Lemonade album came
but
from.
that's what I'm
he
saying,
is married,
though.
though.
But it is
he
a-
That's
but
what
it's-
saved him though.
But it's a difference.
It's
Like
a difference.
I get what he's saying.
Yeah, no, I
Because
know,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you still got your hang-ups and things. However, you still living nice and free.
You're real, man. You're real.
No, that's what I'm saying. Until if he found his rib, none of that'll happen.
Nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Because it's no way. It's not meant for us to do that.
Because in the beginning, Jay-Z was looked at as a playboy for real. In the beginning of his career. Yeah, we heard it. He changed up his whole demeanor, his whole act,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
he wanted to do better.
No, you
for
see,
real.
no, you just not even that. You see where he was
Yeah.
and where he is.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the big difference. So like,
Yeah.
and like I don't like to even speak on the two, but
Celebrities.
you see where Diddy was successful, but you see the longevity of Jay-Z being successful with his relationship with Beyonce.
That's true.
You go from Diddy was always a exec. Jay-Z wasn't. He became an exec. That's the difference. So it's like my alignment with this woman made me propel myself from being, oh, I'm 10, 20, 30 million to I'm 1.5 billion. That don't come from just you being the man and having a good business acumen. No, that comes from sometimes that woman saying, hey, look, I think you should do this. And if you got your rib,
Yeah.
should be aligning.
What would y'all say is like the biggest hang up for men acknowledging that? Or do you feel like men are acknowledging it more now? Or like, why do you think that we see so many maybe single men and not really speaking exactly what you're saying about the necessity of having a good woman to your side? What's the barrier?
Hurt. I think hurt.
Vulnerability.
Embarrassment.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it feel like once you get to that level, once you're moving up to ladder success, all eyes on you. So like selecting the right girl means everything to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's sometimes you feel comfortable just dealing with multiple women at a time because it's no attachments to
No
you.
attachment.
Because if I do this attachment, you embarrass me. Now you just threw me off
Yeah.
10 steps for real. So it's like that'd be the main thing for it because we don't really know what we get into now these days. But we see so much, we learn so we're like, damn, whole time I'm giving you my all, you was doing this behind my back. So it's like that kind of stops a lot of people even being afraid to get into it. You know?
Okay.
I got a little different perspective.
Okay.
Because like right now, I feel like I'm at a point where I'm the most successful I've ever been. And at this point, I'm aligning myself to only have one woman. So right now, I'm doing exactly what we said earlier. I'm not giving access to myself to other women unless it aligns. So sperm retention, not having sex, those things create clarity for me. So in a sense of why not is, I think, the healing process. So for me, I still know I'm not ready. So now since I had to go through my process, because the same way I ask for financial favor in my life is the same way I ask for healing in my life. So I know that you ain't ready yet, because I've asked this question before, and I went through, or I've asked this question about dealing with the person a few years ago, and I went through tremendous pain by not listening, by not being obedient. So this year I went on a journey to say, you know, my obedience is I'm not gonna let sex be my distraction. So that's my boundary.
Has that been difficult?
Oh yeah. Hell, what?
That dopamine, the motherfucker.
Hey,
I mean, obviously.
hold on. You know, I'm going to the gym. You
Yeah.
what? You was getting you get on that squat rack and you be like,
That testosterone.
yeah,
boost up?
because it's
What?
like when you doing leg workouts and stuff like that, you be really like you ready to go. So it's like,
animalistic.
yeah, you are. Exactly. So it's you ready. So it's like to fight that flesh. That's my. So that's how I know I'm not ready. Because what I want for me, for myself, is when I'm mad at my person, I'm not seeking outside. So if I know if I can maintain it single, I know once I get my person, that's gonna be it's gonna be a conversation instead of like, you know what, I'm gonna get some cheeks.
That's so
and,
good.
That's real.
and then just gonna
Yeah.
like, because I mean that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
Yeah.
So now being an adult is saying, all right, what's gonna get me to that next level? So the next level comes with sacrifice. So I have to sacrifice something that I know that I harbor, that I know that that's keeping me from the next level. And every time you do it, you know how like, I don't know if you have ever dealt this, but you know how like you fuck with a Joan or you get some pussy or whatever, and then you like, damn, why I do that? And you feel
sure.
and you feel
instantly.
yeah. As soon as you
feel
come,
that.
you like,
Like,
why did I do that? I'm like, you're disgusted with yourself.
Yeah.
So when you get to that point when you disgusted with yourself, it's like, this how I know you don't supposed to be doing this. So then I know it's not aligned to where I need to go. So it's like, why am I doing it?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like, well, then you got to really dissect what's going on.
What was that defining moment, like, for you to get to that space of like, and you didn't say if you were celibate or whatever, but like, what was that moment for you to say like, you know what, sex is my low moment. Like that is where I feel not to feel the weakest, but that is where like my strength, I just feel like I just lose it all. What was that defining moment where you like, I gotta make a change to go where I'm trying to go?
Well, I ain't gonna say it's even a defining moment. It was a moment where, like I said, I disobeyed what I already knew I shouldn't do. And I paid for it. And then I still did it. And then the results of it, the results of it is the trauma.
Yeah.
So it's like, you told me not to do it. I did it anyway. And I had a result from it. And I'm still I continuously be in the same place. So knowing that if I keep making the same decisions, I'm gonna be in the same cycle, that I'm not gonna grow. So I'll be like, okay, you know how like you be like, well, why am I still in the same place? Because you can't pass the test to pass up that DM or that text message when you leaving the club. Okay, so now how do you get out of that? And I think that's my defining moment, because I feel like the more I'm obedient, the more that I'm trusting God instead of trusting me.
Yeah.
And allowing my flesh to consume my desires, then I don't have no control. So in other words, I got this quote from Warren Buffett: if you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money. Because in the people that are emotional with their money, they don't keep money for long. The people that are not emotional with their money, you can tell how they live their life.
Right.
And it's different. So it's like, for my goals, for the things that I want, I know that my discipline is undisciplined here. So I have to be undisciplined. I have to be disciplined in every aspect to get to the next level. I can't have a weakness and be like, oh, I'm healed. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Or parade myself as this person. And then I know that if you text me on the right night and I'm lit, you can get me.
You can get
accessible.
I'm accessible. So that's, I think, being accessible, and then already having a kid. I'm not trying to have another kid, because I mean, of course, I have multiple businesses. So somebody on the outside be like, oh yeah, I can do this and be straight. I can't risk that reward of, yeah, I nutted, but I done had a kid by somebody I don't want to have a kid with. I already went through that with my baby mama. I'm not gonna go through it with somebody that I didn't have any relations with just because I wanted to get something off. I think so. That's my turning point. It's like, all right, so when I get to the place I want to be, it's sacred. Like, I can't give you the opportunity to get me off my square. Like, okay, you can ruin everything by making one bad decision. One bad decision can change your life. 5 seconds.
Snap of a finger.
Snap of a finger. So it's like that one nut. That person that you want, that's gone. The lifestyle that you want is gone. So it's like, again, my legacy, my desires, outweigh that. So it's like I'd rather go through that sacrifice than be like, yeah, I hit that and like, what? I'm too old for that now. It's like, nah.
I got you. All right. Yeah. Before we sign off. What?
Go ahead.
Before we sign off,
It's a tambourine.
yes, Lord. We done went to church today.
Why these lights?
Somebody, yeah. Shout out to our sponsor Lamar Johnson for the light,
The wine.
light
And
the
the
wine,
Yeah, we already went
And
through
the
a bottle.
gems. And
Yeah,
the
we went-
gems.
the tripods, the gems, and before we sign off, I think that we should leave the audience with just one word, something that sum up with how we feeling, what we want people to take away, and what we want people to sit with after this conversation. I think that's how we should end it. So, what word do you think would resonate with the audience, or something you really want them to take hold of and hold on to?
Restored. That's how I feel. Restoration, or restored.
That's it. That feel like a baptism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pastor Lamar.
yeah. Be baptized, not Troy with the head shake.
No.
The hallelujah head shake.
Today.
The hallelujah head shake.
Go ahead, Lamar.
I'm still thinking. You go ahead.
He can't go first no more.
Yeah.
Because every time he
Let him
goes,
cook. Let him cook.
Go ahead,
Let
Rhonda.
him
You got it.
cook. Let him cook, brother.
Let him cook.
Love yourself.
she said one word.
Yeah.
Love yourself.
Nah, hey, look. I like that. Love you.
Love yourself.
What you said, Sean? What you said?
Put it together.
That made one word.
Lay yourself.
No, he was dead serious.
Dead ass though, like for real. Love yourself.
Dead ass, love yourself.
Sometimes you got. Well, a lot of times you need to put yourself first. I feel like we be always trying not to be selfish, and we put ourselves in bad situations trying not to be selfish. Put yourself first. That's my word.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm sorry. Lay yourself.
Lay yourself. I'm trying to say it together. Lay yourself.
Okay, I'm good.
Let me go before you, Lamar.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Patience. Take your time, baby. Take your time. Let it cook. Let it boil. Let it simmer. Because I feel like if I was where I wanted to be right now, if I was the biggest podcaster in the world and we interviewing Oprah and Gail and Tyler Perry, I'm not ready for that right now. You gonna throw me into it. You gonna throw me. I'm gonna be crumbling. I don't even know. I can barely keep up with y'all right now. Like for real.
That's real.
So patience. It's coming. It's coming.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Shout out to Nip.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to them.
Big facts. All right,
I can
Pastor.
go.
Take us home. Bring us home.
My one word would be fear.
You want them to sit with fear.
No, I ain't gonna say I want them to sit with fear, but I'm gonna say you ain't stuck. You just scared. And how long you gonna let fear define or stop you from becoming the person you supposed to be?
You ain't stuck. You just scared.
Yeah.
You pussy.
Hey, that's great.
You pussy.
I mean,
bro.
no, sir,
That's
for real. No, I accept what he's saying. Like, no, for real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Look in that mirror be a motherfucker for people. Some people can't look at themselves in the mirror. When I was like, look in the mirror, I know I'm doing all right.
All right, cool.
Hey, wait. And y'all seen that Tyler Perry movie?
Yes.
Straw.
How y'all feel about it?
It was good.
You feel like that's the story for most black women? That's what people are saying though, for real. They say like that's the story for most black women.
Yes, but I also think the plot and the turning point of it is like really real, that we don't acknowledge like what grief can do. So I don't want to spoil it, but it's a real what she experienced is so real. But I think the beauty of it was just for black women so many times, like we sometimes don't have that community the way that she had. And so how Tiana Taylor, how Sherry Shepherd held space for her even in already knowing. It was something about like seeing that woman in the midst of her darkness and like really loving her and seeing her through it and didn't even know her. But yeah, I do think that is a lot of women's story. But it was the turning point.
It was a crazy twist.
Got me.
And I felt like I saw the twist coming just because
I did not.
She was. I mean, Taraji played the hell out that role. I think Sherry Shepherd played the hell out that role. I think everybody did a phenomenal job. I just think that, you know, mental health, that it almost felt like she was like being kind of childlike in her actions. Like it felt like, you know, it felt like she was going through something mental, but you didn't know whether it was because these people done fucked with her the whole day,
right,
or because she really got a mental health issue. And
you know,
I
my
think that
clinical
gets
side, I'm like
foreshadowed a lot too.
Psychotic disorder.
Like you never know what people going through. Like you can't be messy. You can't poke the
over.
bear.
Like she was over it before it was even over.
Yeah.
Like she was over. Can I get my check? Like he's dogging her out, and she like, can I get my check?
I just need I just need what I need. You got at work.
She was checked out before she was checked out. So yeah.
Go check
I don't want to spoil it. So we talk about it off camera.
I couldn't get into it yet.
I don't like watching stuff like in the beginning where people getting just dogged out the whole time. I had to fast forward to the end.
But I think for me, like not fast
So
forward.
you didn't even watch it?
No, I did. I went back.
It was a moment for me because I'm a crier. Like I'm truly a crier. I cry for anything, animation, like anything. And so I was going into it prepared to cry. Yeah. But what I also had to recognize, and I think I held space for because I felt bad. But I held space for myself of that. I don't know that level of struggle. I have never experienced that level of struggle that she experienced. So like the parts that everybody was like, oh, 10 minutes in, I'm crying. It wasn't that it wasn't hitting me, but I was like, man, if my girl go through one more thing. But for me, the stuff that was hitting me was the moments of her being seen. Because I can relate to that feeling of not being seen and somebody like really just, you know, taking a second and like, no, I see you. So those were the moments with Tiana Taylor when they were on the phone and, you know, just moments of her being seen. But like the struggle she was going through, and it wasn't me trying to take away from, because she was going through a lot. Yeah. But it just wasn't, I couldn't relate. Like I talked to one of my friends and she was saying that her mom was breaking down at the eviction piece because something she never knew was that one time when they moved from up north and moved here, she's a kid, she think, oh, we just going to grandma's house whole time, they had got evicted. And so her mom was like crying and, you know, having emotion towards that. So it was a lot of parts that I was like, dang, like I feel bad that I'm not like how the world was kind of like having that emotion. But I realized I'm like, I also can't. I was like literally having a conversation with myself, like, Jessica, you can't apologize because you didn't have that struggle. That just wasn't your life. So it just didn't hit me. At the end. It didn't. And I don't even cry. Yeah, like I was a mess.
The end, and it was just like that camaraderie. I think it was because it's like, you know, I don't really have that many people around me that have my back. So when I see that on screen, that cinematic relief, it really, like, anytime I see that, if I'm watching a movie about brothers, sisters, shit, the Brady Bunch sometimes, that camaraderie, like, bringing somebody with you, helping somebody out, like, getting help when you need it, that hit something for me. So I think it hit a chord to where, you know, what resonated with people the most. But they saying that Tyler Perry is really, you know, getting getting the black women and the people, issues out on screen.
And the men are, like, really speaking up with him. I've gotten into so many conversations just in the past week, and just comments of what men were saying, like they can't stand Tyler Perry because there's always he's a black man, but every story that he has, it's like a negative black man in it, or it's a negative view of a man in some portion of it. So, and somebody was
he's
like,
amplifying black women.
And so, you know, people were arguing like, okay, you got daddy's little girls, you got daddy, but the men were still like, okay, yes, you still have those, but they're still in daddy's little girls. It was the drug dealer, and I Can Do Bad All By Myself. It was the good guy, but then it was before him, it was a guy who had almost tried to rape the young girl. So it's like people have just been pulling so much from this movie, and I think kind of taken away from like the beauty of what Tyler like. Sometimes Tyler do be dropping the ball when it comes to the endings with stuff, or like just the movies. I think this is a timeless piece that people are just not kind of letting sit. I mean, with everything, I think it's getting its flowers and with everything, it's gonna have the hate with it too. But I just been hearing like a lot of the men just been going in about Tyler.
And I feel like you open my perspective to it more too. Like what you saying. Like, everything don't hit everybody the same with certain things. So, like, she went through a lot, but it might affect each family differently to bring out those emotions for real. Because, like, we just think, like, for man, we think, like, more logical. We like, but all this stuff happened at once. You know what I'm saying? Now we just fed up with it. Like, man, we ain't trying, but we're not thinking that this might hit Lamar. This part might hit them. This part might hit them. So, it's like, it's almost like symbolic, like and whole though. So it's like, damn, I didn't even think of it like that for real. We just we thinking more logical. It's like this shit ain't realistic though. But now you changed my whole perspective of it for real now.
That shit realistic.
I think for anything, and I say this all the time: take what you need and leave what you don't. Yeah, like because everything is not going to be for everybody. Like I even take that in church. Like with some sermons, it's like. Everything didn't hit me, but that one word he said or that one passage that he says, like, I'm gonna just take that versus just dogging out the whole thing. It's just like, the whole piece wasn't for me. I've never experienced eviction, so that's tough. That was tough for me to watch her go through or see the paper on the thing, but I've never experienced eviction.
That didn't hit me. Yeah. I've never been evicted.
And I do want to say this about Tyler because I done worked with him before. Like, he really that for real. Like, I'd have been on set. Like, he done wrote the movie. He produced the movie. He right there holding the camera, and like even with like the actors, cause like I was on the joint set with Megan Good, and like she kind of like was fumbling her lines a little bit. He took her to the side, talked to her, eased her through it. You know what I'm saying? Even when he sees certain men, he in action right there. So like a couple of us was extras. He grabbed a couple of us and like, nah, I want y'all to be right here. Like I really see how hands on he is with his project. It's like. I don't think people understand like that. That really
like
shows though.
He shoot movies in like a week.
In a week, like a week. You better be
like
on
a play.
it.
2 days. 2 days.
2 days.
Because man, he's shooting. Cause he shoot about 5 movies at one time.
That's
like
crazy.
when I was on set, he rented out a whole neighborhood in Atlanta. One movie shooting right there, another movie shooting right there, and at the studios he be shooting the series and stuff. And like I got a couple of actors that work on Tyler Perry like series production. Like it's one take. Like you got one time to do your lines. That's it. You might do one retake and that's it, but no more than one retake. So like,
you met him?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like,
shook his hand. Like he's tall as hell. Like big. He look like Charles Barkley type size. Like he ain't no little guy. You know what I'm saying? But
and I think, and we could talk about this forever. All day, but like people, I just wish that people would really look at like what he has done for the Black community. I don't care if you're not a fan of it, if the Madea, whatever, but like all of these actors that were even doing these things before him will literally say they did not get paid their worth until Tyler. I didn't watch BET but I saw a clip and he was saying like he has made more millionaires than any Hollywood, production and things like that. And so I just think that, again, take what you need, leave what you don't. Look at the beauty of what he has done. It's a genre to
me. It's like...
like he created a space where Black people always didn't have the ability to walk through these doors. And so, and like really getting acknowledgement behind it. So again, like he may not be everybody's cup of tea, but the work and what he has done for Black people and people in general, I don't even want to just put it to a specific just to us.
But even Charlamagne was on the Breakfast Club this morning, was like, yeah, I see y'all hating on Tyler. Like, y'all keep saying he need to stop making the Madea movies. And Charlamagne was like, no, he don't. Like, Black people still need jobs. What do you mean? Like,
but not even that. He's the only Black producer, studio owner.
Yeah. Writer.
That because most of our movies was like that BET blockbuster.
Yeah, like a hood classic.
Yeah, it's a hood classic. So we asked another culture if they seen Paid in Full
or Juice or
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. These have never made it to the platforms that he's on. So it's like now you might get licensing to get Paid in Full on Prime, but he has a contract currently.
Yes, network BT Plus. You get all the things.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's on. He's on Netflix. He's on Amazon Prime. So it's like now I feel like you just giving the platform to be culturally inclined because now you can include the other people that's not going. probably never heard of BET. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You know, the MTV culture has now integrated into our BET lives. Because I mean, I think for BET not what it used to be. Let's say that. So like a BET Plus seems low grade to other cultures. But if you can go on Netflix and see a movie that's created black, like the only other person I can think of is Spike Lee, but he doesn't own the production.
Right.
Yeah.
So not even to speak on
Will
what
Thacker.
he's done for other people. Let's talk about what he's done for himself, like who he is.
Right.
He's the only black billionaire to come from Hollywood.
Yeah. And look
Like,
at where he came
that's
from.
unheard
This
of.
man was sleeping in his car.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's like the storyline is like,
And we seen it like play out. Like,
I remember getting the DVD. I remember getting the DVDs from
the
Madea.
plays,
he was doing plays.
Yeah.
Nobody was coming. He was renting out the space, losing
But I'm saying
money.
Losing money,
to go to where we know where he started,
Yeah.
and it's not like,
I watch him.
yeah, it's from the ground up. You
From
know,
House
it's-
of Pain.
he the
like,
blueprint.
still
Yeah.
going,
Right.
like,
He the
what?
blueprint.
And I
yeah.
think the integral part of it too, y'all, of like you said, you've had the opportunity to work with him. I have someone, I think he's my cousin, but from my hometown, like little town of Charles City, Virginia. He works with Tyler Perry. Like, he lives in Atlanta. Like, that is his job. Like, he has written House of Pain episodes and things, and he has literally, I think he interned with Tyler. He went to Clark Atlanta and interned and has been probably working with Tyler about 10 years now. And it's just like, of course, with everything, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be unicorns and rainbows, but it's just, just like what you said, I have never heard anybody tell a story about working with him, and it's something that is just like what we see coming out now with all the other things. It's just like everybody's experience with him. It just seems like
He consistent.
So
It's the
it's
same.
consistent. It's uplifting. It's how it has jump started your career. Like just everything about it. And so again, like when again to each his own, but.
Even Cicely Tyson, before she died, she was damn near 100 years old.
That she had never got paid. What she
never got paid that much money.
But not even that. I think the only thing that everybody I think overlooking is the impact. You know how like we say for like musicians, like who put all the people on. Everybody's following the same blueprint that Tyler's doing. 50 Cent, Cat Williams, whoever they're buying their own studios because they see it's like the exposure. Nobody believed it worked because the people before
Tim Reed,
Tyler, they done it, but it didn't work. They not still around. He's relevant. Like this is not no like, oh, we tried it, we folded. No, it's like we're producing top tier. We're getting multiple contracts. I mean, I don't even know the deal he signed with Netflix, but it was astronomical amount. I don't know the deal he signed with Amazon, but it's not like this gonna be the end. It's we don't have like a 10-year run of contract of producing product. Like I don't think people realize that like 50's like now 50's on 4 networks because of the gate that's already been open. Because now like you got to think now most of all production is coming out of Atlanta. Yeah, you mean 10 years ago. You had to go to Hollywood. Now you ready? Atlanta is the epicenter of film. It's already outbeat everything in Hollywood.
People from LA moving to Atlanta.
Exactly. Sure. So like that culture of like, I gotta go to LA, pay the high premium and make it. That culture has came and went. Like, so I think it's like now it's like it's not even really an excuse to kind of make it. In a sense, because the exposure is there. Yeah. Like you said, we ain't at first we didn't like get paid what we were worth. Now we control the narrative. Yeah. Now it might not work for the 20%, but the 80, the majority is getting what they're getting. Because we know it is some people that's a little upset, but
come with it.
Yeah.
Start your own shit.
Yeah.
If you don't like it,
ownership. All right, y'all. This has been an amazing episode of Mind Over Matter. Make sure y'all to follow us on all platforms. We are going to be available on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, Audible, all of those things very soon. Right now, we on YouTube. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace, blessings. Good night.